Good morning from day 122. It absolutely poured down last night. Temperature is a little cooler, so it's only around 20 degrees Celsius at the moment. But nothing's dry. All my clothes that were wet when I went to bed are still wet because it's so humid. But it is 6:30 and maybe half a mile in from my tent site, which was Mosquito Central, but it was good to camp by some water. I mean, it wasn't a particularly good water source, but it was at least some water, because I'm not sure how much drinkable water there's going to be over the next section. I'm about 8 miles behind the tramway, so and I think they're leaving around now, or at least stirring around there. So I might have a chance to catch up with them this afternoon. If not, maybe tomorrow. But I'm not sure exactly where I'm aiming for today. Probably looking to do another 15 to 18 miles, depending on how I feel. I got a message from Gadget to say that there are others feeling sick, and at least one person throwing up. So it's possible that we've hit a bout of norovirus, which is a stomach sick bug that makes basically you vomit and gives you diarrhea, often at the same time, and is relatively common. Oh god, there's a great water source here. What? Often there's it's something that hits hikers, particularly the around the bubble. I'm wondering if maybe we stay at the beach, which was, look at this, is abandoned rail road. Cool. I'm wondering if maybe the stay at the beach with all those people and kids and various other things has hit us. So the chances are we've all been exposed. So it's just a question of when or if we're going to get hit. This is pretty beautiful. Lovely. Yeah, so it'll be it's just kind of a waiting game now to see if we all get it or some of us get it. Yeah, as I say, I think we've got at least 2 people hit by it. Hopefully that'll be it, but again, I suspect probably not at this stage. And all you can really do with it is drink plenty and let it run its course, because there's nothing really to do for it. You don't want to take your anti-diarrhea or anti-vomiting medication, because that'll just clog you up and could potentially be worse, I think. I mean, I don't know. So it's just, we're trying to minimize contact and make sure that everything is, I mean, we always make sure that things are, that we're using hand sanitizer and soap and stuff, so just being extra vigilant with that kind of stuff. and hoping we can avoid too many problems. But yeah, as I say, not entirely sure where I'm aiming for today, but we'll see where we get to. This is old Route 55, and the trail goes this way. So for now, happy hiking. Very nice pond. There's just been an almighty crash from this, so maybe a tree falling, maybe a bear, who knows. Hey buddy. Yeah. Hello again. I saw your brother a little earlier on. Yeah, beautiful. So that back there is the wonderfully named Nuclear Lake. There's no camping around here. There were signs back up there, but also apparently there are some locals who are very keen to ensure that is enforced, according to the comments in Far Out at least. But yeah, Nuclear Lake, so called because there used to be a plutonium testing facility on the shores around here that apparently closed down after a chemical spill. So yeah, delightful. I'm not sure those people fishing back there are going to catch much more than a Springfield 3-eyed fish, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's been tested and is deemed totally safe. The comments say that it was deemed safe before they routed the AT there past it, so I'm sure we're fine. I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes. So I'm going to try and hike a little faster to get past here. Jeez. I'm wearing bug repellent, but again, so moist, so wet. I'm probably sweating it out. But anyway, time to hike faster. Okay, this is number 14. So many of them out today because of the wet. Looks like some sort of bandstand or pavilion or something over there. Otherwise this is just generally kind of pastures it's listed as, so I'm guessing at some point the farmer lets cows out here, but look at the hill I've just come down off, all covered in salted fog, and as you can see, I am soaked. Difficult to tell at this stage whether it's sweat or rain or like moisture on the leaves, or more likely a combination of all three. So beautiful. There is a deli in Pauling, which is in about 2.5 miles, where the others stayed last night. At the moment it's just come out for 9 o'clock. I am still on the fence about whether or not I'm going to head in there. They've all left, and I've got food, so I don't necessarily feel like I need to go into a deli. It's like half a mile off trail, similar to the one yesterday, but On the other hand, it might be nice to go and sit in the dry, out of the bugs for a little bit. So I don't know. I'm still contemplating. I'll see how I feel when I get to the turn off where I can take it. Whoa! At the moment, I'm on some boardwalks which are super slippery, but it's also quite cool. Super slippery, super squelchy, very cool. There. This is adventuring. I am covered in, say, sweat and water or whatever, and spider webs and mosquito bites and probably ticks. Although I've been checking and I haven't seen any. But who knows? This is squelchy fun. Okay, out there, I don't know if you can see really clearly, is a bunch of swamp. But it means I'm probably about to hit the boardwalk. And once I've hit the boardwalk, then it's just a little way. Oh yeah, look at that lovely little flicker hair. Once I've hit the boardwalk, it's not far till I have to make my decision about whether or not to go into the deli, which is again half a mile off trail. Now, given that I'm being completely pestered, sorry, the mosquito was biting my hand, by mosquitoes at the moment, I am very inclined to say it's worth the mile round trip to get out of the bugs, even just for a little bit. Take a little bit of a break, get myself I don't need food. Boardwalk. I don't need food, but I will gladly eat a BLT or something, and maybe a coffee, a hot coffee, and yeah, just chill, dry out a little bit. I mean, I'm going to get wet again as soon as I start walking, but I feel like it's worth the detour, just for a little bit of a break. But yeah, the deli yesterday was about half a mile off trail, and just going and sitting in there, chilling was a real break. Anyway, here's a little snake down here, so I'm just going to stop and let him pass. You buddy. Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. Off you go. But this is cool. It's a little overgrown, but you're kind of submerged in these reeds. I've seen a couple of heron flying around. Very cool. Over there you can see some older dead trees. This is beautiful. And it doesn't take away from it the fact that it's grey and overcast and a bit foggy and whatever. If anything, it maybe even adds to it. But very cool. Anyway, I've got a deli to get to. Ooh. And this is where this is cool. Appalachian Trail. Stop. This is where I get the train to New York City. I think it only runs on Saturdays or weekends, so maybe it's running today because it's Sunday today, but who knows. Camping available at Tony's Deli, half a mile south. Oh, there's a tiger up there. Anyway, DC Malaysian food to the left. So now I'm kind of tempted by Malaysian food, but this is nice. She goes there. And this looks like Tony's Deli up here. I see some hikers outside. It's a good sign. It's maybe half a mile, maybe even a touch over, but it's all very flat, so not anything to be super concerned about in my opinion. I can see why people would say it would be noisy to camp here though. Anyway, let's go check this out. Just leaving Tony's Deli now. Great little place. Food was fantastic there. The bacon roll I had for breakfast was delicious, and then the empanada I had as a little snack, second breakfast, or possibly third breakfast, was really nice. So, highly recommend. It's a bit of a trek off trail, but I sat there and relaxed and felt human briefly. And yeah, a bit relaxed, a bit more a bit dry, although still not completely dry, because stuff just doesn't dry even when sat in a restaurant. So now I just got the half a mile walk back to trail, and then I'll start trying to catch up with the others again. But yeah, I managed to have a little wash up in the restroom, and then I've reapplied my picaridin so that hopefully I can keep the bugs away from me for a little bit again, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to hike on here, and yeah, I'll show you if there's anything else to see. This is pretty cool. AT up and over, and a cool little water tower up there. So with the temperature soaring at like God knows what, 33 I think at the moment, and then the humidity on top of that, decided to take a little break. My clothes, some of my clothes are over there drying off. Not all my clothes, I'm just my t-shirt and my socks and shoe, because they are all wringing wet. So this is Wiley Shelter, and nice little place. There's no water here, which is a shame, but also it does mean maybe that that's why there's not as many bugs here. I mean, there's still some bugs around, but it's not too bad. So yeah, I'm just chilling, taking maybe an hour, might even take a bit longer to relax and lie down, try and cool off a little bit, because it's tough. So I've sweated through my shirt like 3 or 4 times and it wasn't drying. I've then washed my shirt off in like river crossings to get the sweat out, but also then to have a nice like cooler shirt, and that lasts minutes before it's just a shirt again. But nothing's really drying. The good news is that I did manage to dry my tent out, so again, because it's lightweight fabric, it doesn't hold on to the moisture, so that was relatively easy to dry out. So the tent's dry, which is good, because there is also a storm expected this afternoon or this evening after the sun goes down. so I would expect there to be some rain at some point, but we'll see. I think the plan is for me to leave here shortly, much as I don't want to leave here, and then there's an ominously named hill called 10 Mile Hill, which doesn't look like it's 10 miles, looks like it's closer to a mile, but it looks like it's fairly steep. Now, the people who've been up and over it, like Sass and Gadget and Pumba, that I've spoken to via text, have said that it's not that bad. So it's hot because everything's hot at the moment. So I'm gonna leave here in a little bit, and then I'm gonna push to get over that. It'll be about 4 miles total from here over the top, and then down to a place called 10 Mile Shelter, or 10 Mile Campsite, which is just after the shelter itself. And I'm probably going to camp there. It looks like it's by a nice big river, so I'll probably go and dip my feet in or whatever. And then that'll leave me maybe 13 or 14 miles short of Kent. So Kent has a welcome centre with showers, and there's a laundry and stuff in there. So that's our kind of tentative aim for tomorrow. So 13 miles, especially with the temperature's supposed to drop and be much more in my scope of comfort. But either way, I'm expecting maybe to get up early, push into Kent, then shower, laundry in Kent, and then maybe try and push on another few miles out of Kent, just to keep going. I don't think people are looking to Nero or Zero or hotel stay, and it doesn't look like Kent has much. It looks like it's got some restaurants and some nice bed and breakfasts and things, but probably on the more expensive side, which is not necessarily an issue, but when you're stopping at multiple places like that, then the cost does add up. So not to say budget isn't an issue for me. I kind of factored in some of that stuff, but at the same point, I don't need to stay at those, and if I can get back to hostels or cheap motels and whatever, that's fine, because I don't need a luxury place at all. In fact, sometimes it's a little uncomfortable because you're all smelly and disgusting when you arrive there, and you feel kind of out of place. And the other guests, you don't really necessarily want to mingle with them because you're worried they're going to be looking at you like, oh, who let the hiker trash in? All this is just nonsense that goes on in my head, but it's the kind of thing that like the social anxiety or the worries that batter around in my head. So maybe I should be better at that, and maybe I'll be better at that. But again, there's nothing wrong with hiking and camping in the woods. Again, especially if the temperature could drop, because that's the one thing that I do miss at the moment about not being in a hotel is the AC, because that's a delight. Being able to sit there and have the climate, have the room temperature controlled at as low as I can possibly set it for me, or until the others complain. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out what the hell's going on with my hair. But yeah, as low as I can set it is always happy for me. So yeah, but anyway, so that's the plan. Probably like I say 4-ish miles today, and then tomorrow push for Kent. Probably stop off at a place called Bull's Bridge, which has got a real nice historic kind of covered bridge, kind of think Ichabod Crane apparently, the headless horseman, Sleepy Hollow, one of those cool covered bridges. So I think we'll get to see that. Might be a little side trail. So probably, certainly my thinking is head in there. There's a general store that looks nice. Grab a coffee and some breakfast or whatever early, and then keep pushing to Kent. Get into Kent, do laundry, shower, and then see where we are and see what how far we're going to push from there. So those are the tentative plans, and this is me kind of rambling to put off that I'm, I guess, about to start hiking again. So I'm going to put clothes back on and put my shirt back on and pack up my lunch stuff, and then I guess get ready to get all sweaty again. But on the plus side, it sounds like the river is nice on the other side, so I shall get over there and then reward myself with maybe with a swim, but certainly with a feet dunk if nothing else. But anyway, yeah, this is Topless Soap saying see you in a bit. Well, that was a fun little river crossing. Like, I don't think I needed the rope, and I suspect that others have crossed further down, but fun. This bridge is gone. Yeah, fun. Wow. Welcome to Connecticut. Damn. And just like that, I am over the peak. So, not a particularly difficult climb. I'm just, a mile and a half of kind of continual climbing. So, nothing really too much of a problem for the hiker legs. We'll say in this heat, I am wringing with sweat again. But some of that was also true before I even started the climb. So, but I think it's about a mile down to the shelter, and then I will probably call it quits there. I think there are some people there, but I'll see what I see when I get there. But it is warm, and I don't know if you can hear in the background there the thunder, like rumbling around. It's been rumbling now for maybe 2-3 minutes. So definitely expecting some rain at some point. And again, right now I wouldn't hate it, but we'll see. I'm gonna, like I say, go down to shelter. I don't think I'm going to stay in the shelter, but I might tent next to it. But I believe that because we're now in Connecticut, all of the shelters have bear boxes or bear cables or something, which isn't always the case, and certainly wasn't the case in New York. But very much looking forward to having a bear box or similar, so that I don't have to worry about the hassle of that myself. Not that it's a huge hassle, but it's just nice to have the thought taken out of it. But anyway, right, time for me to hopefully cool down a little bit. There is, supposedly a real nice river by the shelter. Okay, that was interesting. So my phone has just gone off with an alert that says there's a tornado warning. So I need to take shelter ASAP apparently, which doesn't do me much good being up on top of a mountain. But it makes sense with the sound of thunder. So I'm gonna stop recording and make as much speed as I can towards the shelter, which I assume will protect me from a tornado, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, so I might be in a shelter after all. But right, time to get moving.